Jolene was both an addict and a victim. Her death deeply affected our family and those who loved her best. My sister was not just an overdose statistic. Her life mattered, and it had meaning. I struggled with my sister during the darkest part of her life when she was an addict, and it was very difficult for all of us in the family. And I celebrated her progress in her fight to free herself from addiction. While she did not win her fight, her family and I hope that her story and these prosecutions will save others from the tragedy that ended her life. I'm very aware that addicts bear the responsibility of the consequences that come from using drugs, but at the same time, I know my sister was victimized by predators who sought to profit from her addiction with no regard for her struggle and no remorse for our loss. And while nothing will bring Jolene back to those who loved her, we feel some sense of justice with this prosecution. More importantly, we believe that the prosecution of this case and others like it will save other Kentucky families from the tragedy that struck ours.
There's no shame in having a problem. Just ask for the help. We really do want to help those that we love, and that's what we're here for. And just for 1 second, just reach out. That's all I would ask them to do, because I promise there's more hands out there to help than they would think. She was working. She was she was a productive, citizen. She paid her taxes. She lived her life the best that she could. She had 2 beautiful children. The oldest, her daughter was a sophomore at UK, and her son was in high school. And her life, from what I saw, was happy. But unfortunately, we see that every day, that it's a facade. But it was one of those things where I just didn't think it could happen. So I was really woken up, and I think our community was woken up too, because last year, even in our small community, we lost 9 people to drug overdoses, and that is a lot for a small town.
People who are professional heroin dealers know, I believe, that if they sell enough heroin, that somebody they sell to is going to overdose and die. And so those are dealers that the money's more important to them than the human life, and those are the people that we're targeting with this initiative. We hope that these very heavy potential penalties will encourage people who are selling heroin to get out of that business and to do something else. And we hope that it will reduce the supply of heroin on our streets, which means fewer addicts and fewer deaths. We also think that there's some justice involved from the victims and from the victims' family. And we've heard from victims today. This is not a victimless crime, and the folks left behind deserve justice.